One Piece chapter 982, and my god, more happened in this chapter, and a lot of stuff from the last chapter has been resolved. And we finally have Kanjuro reaching Orochi and Kaido. So let's talk about it. Alright, so this chapter pretty much starts off with Kanjuro breaking through the Kaido's forces to meet Orochi and Kaido. Before reaching them, Orochi basically tells Kaido that Kanjuro pretty much dealt with everyone, and he's fulfilled his role, so now he should be here any minute. Hell, hell, Kaido says that, lucky you told me, I probably could have killed him. And, and stuff like that. But, yeah. But then, one thing I do want to state is that Black Maria doesn't go searching for Yamato like the rest of the Tobiropo. We can also see that Drake is gone too, so we can assume that he's gone after Yamato as well, but isn't after the reward. And so we can in fact tell that Black Maria is not after the reward of replacing one of the headliners, and I guess is just fine with being a member of the Tobiropo. She is of course flirting with Kaido, so that is kind of a funny scene. So yeah, it's not. I honestly, it was nice to see someone like that. Could we imagine if Black Maria is actually Yamato's mother? That would actually be. I mean, it would kind of make sense. Kaido and Black Maria are the same size, and it does seem that they do flirt a lot. It's a possibility. Actually, yeah, it is a pretty big possibility. But either way, Kanjuro finally makes it through, and Kaido tells the soldiers to back down because that is one of Orochi's men. I mean, Kanjuro does state that he literally had to, everyone that approached him thought it was the enemy, and he had to take them down. He had no options to let them live, so he just said that they met in a timely end. And we do get to see what happened with Momonosuke. So he did grab the knife and break free from his bindings, but Kanjuro quickly caught him and beat the crap out of him, beating him bloody. Orochi is all giddy that the final member of the Kozuki clan is finally there. But the one thing I do have to say is that Orochi's reaction is pure gold. It's honestly great because right before Kanjuro shows up, he's like, finally, after the 20 years of me being afraid of the ghosts of the Kozuki clan, I can finally rest easy. And honestly, that makes his reaction to finding out that the plan failed, well, pretty much failed, was beautiful. So Kanjuro did in fact tell him everything. The fact that the Straw Hats are there, the fact that he still thinks that Kinemon fooled them all, which is even more hilarious. He thinks that Kinemon literally gave false information on purpose, which is just freaking beautiful. I love how Kanjuro's like, I've known Kinemon for years. I never knew him to be this thorough. Which really does show how much of an imbecile people do kind of think Kinemon is. Like, more of a straightforward guy, nothing too complicated, which that is honestly kind of hilarious. But yeah, but when Orochi finds this out, he's basically shaking. Like he's like, I don't need platitudes or assurances. I want to know that the bodies of the samurai are good and dead. Because the only Waban, Wabanshu, I think that's what they're called, the guy with the giant pinhead, basically tells Orochi that there are no signs of ships at the port, but Luffy, Zoro, Kid, and Killer are currently wreaking havoc. And he does state that he didn't notify them sooner because Queen said he was going to handle it, and also didn't want to interrupt the festivities. Which is honestly which is nice because it does kind of make sense that they wouldn't want to anger or disturb Orochi when he's finally, happy, like truly happy and relaxed. So it makes sense. It just kind of makes sense. But literally right after this, this is something that was shocking, but it's not something that I believe Orochi wouldn't do. He says that I think it's all. a way to like help clear his mind, but also lure out Kinemon and the samurai, is basically placing Momo on a crucifix and killing him like they did Yasuye. Which, yeah, I mean, there's no way in hell Oda's gonna have Momo die. He's been built up to be the next ruler of Wano, so I highly doubt it. I'll be honest, when Kaido sees Momo all beaten and bloodied, he still considers him to be the whiny little brat from back then. So and then he's still kind of disappointed in the kid for being Odin's son, and stuff like that. But another thing I want to say is that Momo hears that Luffy is on the island, but he's like, if there are no ships, then where's Kinemon? Where's Denjiro? Where is everybody? He's genuinely concerned, even though he said that he was going to find a way to escape. But moving on, we head towards Denjiro and his group, where they end up meeting up with Sasaki. So I do like how Sasaki is treating Denjiro like an equal because it makes sense. Denjiro was pretending to be wow, I've been calling him Denjiro for so long. Kyoshiro. He was pretending to be a guy named Kyosho for years, and hell, Sasaki was even like, "Hey Kyoshiro, where the hell is your famous pompadour, man? And I didn't even think you were gonna come to the party." So Denjiro basically tells him it's a secret, so don't worry about it. And he basically and Sasaki states the whole thing with Yamato and that he's searching for everyone. So that goes about well. And then Denjiro handcuffs Sasaki and pretty much tells his troops to gag him, which I do like how it's kind of hilarious how they easily managed to get one of the Tobiropo, wrapped up. Yeah, that was a bad joke. But anyway, they have him bound up, and then Denjiro takes off his kimono and reveals the mark of the Kozuki on his back. The guy's got a meaty neck too, which is kind of hilarious. But still, it shows that this guy is freaking jacked. I mean, from what we can tell from his back. But as he's doing, he's like, "Do you know the hidden history of Wano and the Kozuki?" And the shock of Sasaki's face is priceless. That we then cut back to Chopper and Usopp in the Brachio tank. They're being chased by Big Mom. This whole sequence starts with Chopper saying direct hits, and Big Mom is not phased at all. And Usopp and Chopper are just running away in the opposite direction so she doesn't go after Kinemon and their forces. And Big Mom's like, "Give me the head of your captain. Give me straw." Oh my god. I do really think, I honestly am concerned for Chopper and Usopp's safety, because they're pretty much running away from an emperor, and she still has Napoleon on her head from what I can tell, so they'll still have to deal with her with Napoleon. But Apollo is gone. He's not there. So they're running away. Kinemon starts to head off in the direction they were going towards. We then cut to Nami, Carrot, and Shinobu as they go in through the hall to try and find Momo like they were planning to, along with Sanji. Then Apollo appears from the other door. He's like, "I found him. I found the ones that kidnapped Zeus, Mama." And he literally turns into that demonic something from Whole Cake Island. I do love the little bit of detail where Zeus was basically shaking and Nami's climate attacked. Right when Apollo was showing, right, and then Apollo shows up, which is honestly hilarious. And I do love how Nami, Carrot, and Shinobu just freaking run away. Oh man, that was just hilarious. I honestly want to see how they're gonna get out of this, because Chopper and the Weakling trio are up against the freaking emperor. Nami has one of Big Mom's powers, Zeus, which she used on Big Mom twice, pretty much halting her for a little bit and causing a giant crater. So Nami, Carrot, and Shinobu are basically up against Apollo, which is a piece of Big Mom. And Usopp and Chopper are in the Brachio tank, pretty much having to run away from a pissed off Big Mom. So, yeah. Honestly, when I was first thinking of how this could I was originally thinking that Nami was still gonna be with Usopp in the tank until I remembered that she did kind of split off from them. But still, I was honest, it would have been hilarious if Usopp, Nami, and Chopper somehow come up with a way to beat Big Mom or throw her into the water to like weaken her a bit, and then Chopper does Monster Point again. I do want to see Chopper going into Monster Point and fighting Big Mom on like a bigger area instead on a bigger battlefield with Usopp and Nami helping out. I do think that with Zeus, Usopp's special attack stars, and Chopper Monster Points could at the very least survive Big Mom. If they play their cards right, they might be able to beat her. I mean, I doubt it. She's an emperor, but still, the cowardly trio really does need a big win. I mean, Usopp had some great moments in Dressrosa, and Chopper had fought him against Big Mom before. Roughly, it was for a few seconds, but he still fought Big Mom. And Nami used Zeus. But anyway, but that whole theorizing thing done over and done with. We then cut to Ulti and Page 1 running. A pretty hilarious scene because Ulti and Page 1 are running. He's like, "Come, you can do it, you can do it, Pepe, you can do it, Pepe." And then she's like, "Oh, I'm getting tired. I'm ever so tired." And Page 1 is just like, "So don't run then. Don't run. We'll catch up later." And Ulti snapping just jumps onto Page 1 and tackles him, being like, "You have to offer to carry me." And then they fall down the stairs, and just like that, she and Luffy meet eyes. Ulti's still pissed off from earlier, asks who the hell you are, and Luffy's like, "No, who are you?" And that's how the chapter ends. I do like the little bit of payoff with with everything that was going on in the last chapter, with Big Mom and Chopper and Usopp, and how that whole thing ends. And I do love how Nami isn't just running away with Sanji and everyone, and going after Sanji, and she ends up. I feel like it is going to end up in a culmination fight between the Weakling trio and Big Mom, with Karen and Shinobu's help. Now Sanji was not in this chapter, so we can only assume he went on ahead. Or he's still disappointed with the fact there were no women in the pleasure hall, and is just sulking somewhere. Either way, I'm fine. I'm fine with. I do see Sanji kind of going ahead. Oh man, it would be hilarious if Sanji saw Ulti. If Sanji saw Ulti, the guy's gonna fall head over heels with it right away, I guess. But anyway, one thing I do want to say that I didn't say back with the Denjiro portion of this chapter was that he also split up his forces like Kinemon did. One heading towards the middle of the banquet hall, and then the other going towards the rear entrance for a pincer move, which means there are two areas for pincer moves. This chapter was nice because we finally have Kanjuro finally making it to Kaido and Orochi and telling them that the plan pretty much failed. A bit of false sense of security with Kaido, basically since no ships made it to the harbor, and the fact that even though Luffy, Kid, Zoro, and Killer are there aren't any signs of the samurai. And I love how the Orochi is the only one who's terrified and taking this seriously, because for 20 years he's been paranoid in regards to the Gozuki. So having him be even more paranoid, knowing that the plan he had to freaking annihilate everyone thanks to the spy he had planted there for over 20 years failed. That makes complete sense why we react to in such a drastic way of killing the kid on a crucifix for everyone to see. Orochi is a monster and insanely paranoid, so it makes complete sense. This part of the arc is going to be very interesting because we still have Nami. We still have the portion where Nami is basically confronting Zeus with Karen and Shinobu. Usopp and Chopper are running away from Big Mom, shooting tank cannonballs or something at Big Mom as they're running. Kinemon is still heading towards the point where they needed to go. I also do like one portion of the chapter that I wanted to wait till the last minute was the fact that that Cat Viper, Nekomamushi, basically calls Dogstrom and tells him that they finally arrived. You know, the two of them have their usual bantering and stuff like that. But I do think that this was a worthwhile scene. Basically saying that, don't worry, we're here in Wano. We'll be there shortly. We then cut to the ship with Marco. The beast guards of Nekomamushi, and for some reason I don't see Izo, even though we got something from him, but it is implied that he was there. And Marco was basically being like all playful and stuff like that with, I guess we didn't really need to have you deliver this note to Straw Hat then. And he's like, alright, fine, I'll just throw it out, no big deal. And I think it is Izo that's basically lecturing Marco and Camp Viper, because Marco states in this chapter that you don't get much out of Wano since it's so isolated. So, and then it's like, we gotta hurry. Now, hold on for 1 second. I need to double check I think we got a good look at what the letter said. I might be late, but I'll be there. So, that is kind of a hilarious thing since they're all on the same ship. And timing couldn't have been better. So Nekomamushi did not really need the note from Marco. So, turns out he was planning to go there, but he thought he was just going to be late to the party. I mean, technically he is. But yeah. But from what I can see, the only Whitebeard pirates there are Marco and Izo. So, for all we know, those are the only Whitebeard pirates that could have survived the battle against Blackbeard. There could be more. Maybe those Whitebeard pirates are guarding Whitebeard's hometown while Marco is away. That is a possibility. But with all that said and done, another great chapter, and we're not on break next week either, which is something that I am super excited about. I can't wait to see the resolution with Big Mom, Usopp, and Chopper. I can't wait to see if Luffy does end up fighting Ulti. I do see this because, here's the thing, I do think that Sasaki will break out of his bindings and reveal that Denjiro is a traitor. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Kanjuro is going to mention this right now. I want to see Sasaki fight Denjiro. I want to see Ulti fight Luffy. Page 1 is probably going to fight like Zoro or Kid or Killer or all of them. I do see that happening. So, yeah. Unless Ulti is going to be like, you know what, I'm going to let you go. I am going off to find Kaido's son so I can go get my reward. I mean, it's something like Totoro could do. Who's Who was basically planning to ignore the commotion that Luffy was causing just so he can go find Yamato. Basically, from what it was implied, take down Queen and take his place. Yeah, I mean, I do see that happening. And I feel like that could be Ulti's logic, unless Luffy pisses her off. Otherwise, she's just gonna fight them. So yeah, I also do want to see a rematch between Page 1 and Sanji. Because remember, Sanji was using the raid suit last time so he could keep his identity a secret. So no one would know that the Straw Hats are on Wano. So, yeah. I do like the setup that we've got for the next couple of chapters. It's obvious that this arc is far from over. And we're just going to be getting chapter after chapter of pure greatness. And I'm so glad we're not on break next week because, oh man, I can't wait to see the real fights. I feel like next week is when real important fights are going to take place. But with all that, what did you guys think of this chapter? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Well, how do you think everything's going to play out for these matchups that we've gotten so far? Do you think the highly improbable thing of the Cowardly Trio taking down Big Mom, or at least holding her off long enough so they can finally run away somewhere far away so that she can't catch them? Do you think Luffy's going to end up fighting Ulti? Do you think Sasaki's going to break free from his bindings and challenge Denjiro? How do you think this is all going to play out? And do you think that Momonosuke being put on the crucifix will lure out Kinemon? Honestly, I do see that happening because Kinemon basically implies that he's treated, even though he pretended to be his father, Kinemon does see Momo as his son, and he's pretty much his best friend's son. So Momo's very important to him. But yeah, how do you think all this is going to culminate? What did you guys think of the chapter? Leave it down in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And with all that, have an awesome day.